Hey guys, today I'll be talking through the introduction into ecology, where ecology started and began and how it has been defined across the years. Ecology was coined by a German called Ernest Haeckel. Now he had come up with the definitions of various different words, coined new words, and ecology was just one of many he did across his lifetime. Now, he described ecology as being the total relation of the animals to both its organic and its inorganic environment. So, that is similar to how we today define it, but it has changed slightly as it's relating to the inorganic versus the organic in its environment, which today we know isn't quite correct. Now, Darwin also wrote about ecology in his famous book Origin of Species. Now, in Origin of Species, he created a good definition for this term. He said, "Let be borne in mind how infinitely complex and close fitting are the mutual relations in all organic beings to each other and to their physical condition to life." Now, this is very close and a very good definition for something that was derived in the Victorian period. Now, today it has been more specifically defined and has built upon the two definitions by Darwin and Haeckel. Today we define as the scientific study of the abundance and distribution of organisms in relation to other organisms and environmental conditions. So, this is the definition we use today. However, there is no singular definition for ecology, and it's something that is very often argued in the science community. But as a whole, ecology generally focuses on the abundance of an organism as well as the distribution of that organism in a particular environment and those conditions. So, it is important to know about ecology because all organisms rely on the same natural systems. Those systems are different depending on the environment and the animals that live there, but all organisms are reliant on ecology and those natural systems that ecology run for it to survive. So understanding ecology is vital if you're going to understand the environment and the different systems that are required for organisms to survive. So that will be understanding ecology to understand why certain plants, certain animals, certain fungi, certain bacteria live in certain areas and what sort of conditions the environment needs to be in to allow them to live there. Now, ecology isn't only vital now we know what it is, as ecology was very fundamental for quite primitive people, such as the hunter-gatherers of ancient times, and this was because they used ecology for hunting and agriculture. Primitive tribes had a quite a detailed knowledge about where and when their prey, what they were hunting, would be found in which part of the year. That's also ecology because in the summer it's hotter, in winter it's colder, and so forth, with different raining conditions and different temperature conditions. And this followed on with the establishment of agriculture, which the hunter-gatherers had all those years ago, and this was important because they needed to know about the plants and how the plants survived and what they required to thrive and produce enough fruit and enough vegetables in order to supply their tribe, although the tribes were quite small. Now, agriculture is, in a sense, a special type of applied ecology. So, there are a number of examples throughout history where communities and civilizations have fallen and collapsed because of environmental degradation. This came about because of a lack of understanding of ecology. So, one simple example are the people or the tribe of Easter Island who exploited the island's resources to exhaustion, and now the only thing that's left of their civilization are the stark monuments of the head in the ground. Now, ecology is a system. It's not just a singular thing. It is a system, and it works as a hierarchy. There are different layers for different things, each getting smaller and smaller in size. The biggest and first is biosphere. This involves all the global processes that happen, and then you move down into the ecosystems. This focuses on the flow of energy and matter throughout each ecosystem. So you start with a biosphere, for example Earth. You could use Earth as a biosphere. Then you focus on ecosystems, say for example Great Britain or England to be more specific, in which case you'll then look at the flow of energy and matter. So you perhaps put this as a food web or a food chain, in which case you look at where the energy began to where it finished, and so forth. Then you'll make it even smaller to communities. Communities focuses on the interaction between different species. So you're looking at how the mallard duck interacts with the mute swan, and etc., and how that influences the environment. Then you make that even smaller then into population. Now population dynamics are important, and then this would usually be for looking at the unit of evolution and how a singular species has changed and evolved to adapt to its environment. Then you again make that even smaller to the individual. That would then look at the survival and reproduction of a singular unit in natural selection. So you'll be looking at a fly and how that has adapted and changed in its behaviour and physiology to allow it to survive in certain environments. For example, how it survived in a house or outside or wherever it is found. That's looking at ecology from an individual point. And that is the introduction to ecology I'm going to begin with. So ecology encompasses a lot of different things, and while I could continue talking about this is where I'm going to stop it, where the fundamentals have all been laid out, and I'm then going to go more into depth in the next video. And so I hope to see you then, and to help you get a better understanding of ecology, because learning the fundamentals is the best place to start, and then slowly move further and further until you have a more greater understanding of what ecology is and how it can be helpful to the natural world.